The Vires and Numeris podcast is a Bryer.io production. You can find each and every episode over at Bryer.io. That's Bryer.io. Special thanks to our sponsors, Chair Coins. You found the brick and mortar financial institution where you can safely trade dollars for Bitcoin. Over-the-counter OTC and person-to-person. They facilitate transactions of all sizes, including high-volume transactions. Their headquarters is located in Milwaukee, servicing the MKE areas of Lakefront, Eastside, River West, and all of Waukeesee County. More than just being an OTC location, they're here to educate you about Bitcoin, wallets, blockchain, cryptocurrency, security, and platforms. If you're in the Milwaukee area, and you can also visit their Bitcoin ATM, where more locations will be soon coming. Visit charoncoins.com. That's CHARON coins.com. Bitcoin SOV is an emerging community-driven project that has a decentralized team the world over. It is a proof of work mineable ERC20 and has a deflationary design with token burns to ensure your value is stored over time. Check out their site at btcsov.com. Luca Paletti is a talented artist. He's a digital artist and self-described propagandist known for his iconic Bitcoin artworks. Luca's #1 goal is to spread the message that Bitcoin is better money. Check out lucapaletti.com. That's LucoPoletti.com. Bitcoin XRC, Bitcoin Rhodium, is not a fork of Bitcoin. It is a new crypto asset, simple and transparent, with long-term vision for investors and scarcity to help drive its value. There will only ever be 2.1 million XRC. Check out their project over at bitcoinrh.org. And finally, CryptoU is working, that's CryptoU.io, is working to collapse the learning curve for the crypto novice and bring legit blockchain education to the masses in economics, mining, the history of blockchain, and more on the pioneers that paved the way. Visit them over at CryptoU.io. And always remember, do not take anyone's word for anything. This is a space where you must do your own research. You are the captain of your own ship. Take control of your own financial sovereignty. Nothing on this show or written on Bryer.io is financial advice. Please enjoy the episode with my guest today, Amelia Tomasicchio. All right, we're recording. This is episode 5 of the Vires and Numeris podcast. Today, I'm honored to have Italian journalist and entrepreneur Amelia Tomasicchio. I always struggle with that double C. She's an expert in the digital marketing and began in the fintech sector in 2014. She's written for a couple companies. We'll get into that. And she has co-founded and is editor-in-chief at The Cryptonomist. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. I wanted to talk to you about your story and what you're doing over there in Europe. So I always start at the beginning of people's life. I want to know where you grew up first.
Okay. I was born in Italy, in Puglia. I moved in Switzerland pretty soon when I was about 21. But all my study, I've done it in Italy. So also my degree, I took it in Rome with an essay about Bitcoin. That's how I started to study Bitcoin in 2014, writing my university essay.
Very cool. That's what I was going to get into. So were you studying in Roma? What were you studying when you wrote that thesis? Was it like computer science, economics?
Not at all. Actually, I studied cinema. But at the time, my ex-boyfriend was studying Bitcoin and was very into this kind of stuff. And so he started to talk with me about this topic. And it was the time when I had to decide which kind of essay to write for my degree. Mm-hmm. And that's I started to study Bitcoin. Thanks to him. I didn't want to write a normal thesis about I don't know, theater or cinema that would be useful for my future.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I decided to study Bitcoin in that moment.
So how was it received by your professor in the theater realm?
Well, they were not so expert in this field.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard to let them accept my proposal for the thesis, but finally they accepted, and it was good. I think.
So were you already interested in journalism at that point, or had you written like for like a school paper or anything like that?
Yeah, I used to be a music journalist. I used to write about music and concert, etc. So I was already into this kind of sector. But in 2015, I think I started to work for CoinTelegraph after my thesis.
Oh, okay. And what about the economic side? I'm interested from the economic side a lot. Did you study any economics before you got into Bitcoin?
Not so much. I just took a course about economy and digital marketing, but just for 6 months, and it was an online courses. So I have a master in this in digital marketing, starting from that point, and we had some I don't know, just a few hours about economic and business development, but it was more about digital marketing.
When your ex-boyfriend introduced you to Bitcoin, was it like that light bulb moment where you got immediately interested, or did it take you a while to get into it?
Yes, because the first thing I appreciated about Bitcoin was how can I say, is cyberpunk attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Was very anarchic. That's why I was really interested in this. This is the first thing that I could appreciate about Bitcoin. That's why I started to study it.
So you're a cypherpunk. I'm a cypherpunk type. Are you technically, you consider yourself a crypto anarchist then?
Yeah, I like to think about it.
Yeah, me too. So I saw that you ended up getting pretty into Bitcoin. When was like that moment where you're like, well, I've written this thesis. I'm like really into Bitcoin. I want to make this like a profession, or I want to, make this, part of my life.
Yeah, it was pretty much in the same moment. I started to study Bitcoin, and so I started also to interview people in this industry, because at that time there were a lot, just maybe one book, the
Mm-hmm.
one of English, maybe not so many other magazines, or not so many books, not at all in Italian, of course.
Right.
And so I started to be linked to a lot of people in this in the Italian industry. So I started to go to meetup, etc. And they knew I wanted to write a thesis, and I was following also the digital marketing course. And so they proposed me very soon to be part of this world and to work in this field. Mm-hmm. So of course I accepted, because I was about to finish the university, so I wasn't unemployed.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing. I found Bitcoin in 2009, and I tell everyone like back then, there wasn't much material on Bitcoin. Like you just mentioned, like you could absorb everything written in like an hour or two, maybe a day, and then you didn't have anything new for days, maybe, or yeah, it's really crazy how far we've come. Like you couldn't absorb just one day now all the material, it's written over a week or whatever.
Yeah, and in the bookshops you can find a lot of books in Italy too, in Italian language. So, but at the time I think there was only one or two, and in English.
Did you happen to translate anything into Italian that you read at that point?
Not. What do you mean? Not to translate everything.
Like, any written articles that you found really important? Did you mentioned that there weren't a lot of things in Italian. Since you're bilingual, did you happen to translate anything for your peers or?
Yes, of course. All the material was in English, so I had to translate everything. Yeah.
Nice.
It was more difficult also because at the time my English was not so perfect. Not that now it's perfect, but
your English is pretty good. Yeah. When did you get the Bitcoin tattoo? Because that's one of the first things that struck me when we became friends on the internet a few years ago. I was like, wow, this girl is really dedicated. This woman's really dedicated. She has a Bitcoin tattoo.
Yeah. I think it was 2016 or 17. I don't remember precisely. But it was, I think it was 2016 during the summer.
That's awesome.
2 years after I started to be interested in this kind of field.
Yeah, I commend you on that. It's
that basically changed my life. I had a job, new friends, traveling all around the world for writing about Bitcoin, etc., interviewing people. So it really changed my life.
Yeah, the Bitcoin community is there's bad actors in every community, but the majority of the people are like solid individuals that I've encountered. I haven't had, many bad experiences. So it's kind of cool that, it's like a big family to me.
Yes.
So you moved from Italy to France. When did you move?
Just a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
I used to live in Switzerland for my job. Actually, the legal office of Cryptonomist is in Switzerland. Oh, okay. But I live in France, I don't know, starting from October of this year.
Even better for my follow-up, because I wanted to ask you, what is the overall sentiment in Europe around crypto? Maybe you could talk about Italy, France, and Switzerland, all three.
But for sure, in Switzerland is more. It's easier to find people who know cryptos, or places where you can buy with the goods with Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Mm-hmm. In France, I've just moved, so I really don't know the community here. I live in Nantes, and I think there is nothing here, basically. But in Paris, there are a lot of shops who accept Bitcoin, for example.
Oh, cool. So have you personally paid for any goods, when you go out to get coffee in Europe? Something like that?
And a few months ago, I went to Australia, and I booked everything online, from flights to hotel, using Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash and other cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm. When did you go and work at CoinTelegraph? Which country were you in when you did that?
Yeah, I was in Italy. It was just after the university. I used to live, I don't know, maybe in Rome or in Bari, in Puglia. I think it was for 1 year, about 1 year.
Oh, cool. And what did you wrote articles there? Were you into the marketing side of things for them as well, or?
No, I think it was more about the Italian community. And I wrote a few pieces also about my thesis. So it was just a sum up of my own thesis about cinema and Bitcoin.
Okay. How long was your thesis? I'm curious.
Oh my God, I really don't know. I think 400 pages.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to work.
I don't know for a long time.
How long did it take you to write that?
Oh God. I think about a couple of months, maybe.
Wow.
Whole summer. Yeah, I think it was the whole summer.
That's really.
And my degree was in December. Yeah, I started maybe in May.
So that's all you did for a few months was write that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of writing.
Yeah. Also because my teacher couldn't help me, so I had to do everything alone.
Right.
So I was.
You were the expert. They had very little knowledge of Bitcoin, I'm sure, at that point. So when did you go to work for Eidoo?
In 2017, I started, I think, in August of that year. So before of the ICO they launched. In the beginning, I was the community manager. So texting a lot all the time on all the social media, on Telegram, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 year I became their CMO. But after the old, which includes also Eidoo, that is called Poseidon, decided to launch Cryptonomist because they are in the same holding. And so as Cryptonomist was growing, I had to decide where to put my effort, and I decided to work only focused on Cryptonomist.
Oh, okay.
So now it's open for 2 years. In March we will do our second birthday.
Nice. I'll have to send you a happy or a birthday message for that.
Yeah, we'll try to post on social media for sure.
Nice. So they asked you when you were working with them to help them co-found that? Is that you're a co-founder, right? Of
Cryptonomist, yes.
Yeah. So they asked you, like the person that was part of that holding asked you to come help them create it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, 2 years ago, or 2 years and some months.
So what does your daily role there look like? I know you're the editor in chief and you're writing stuff, I think. So tell us what your day looks like.
Usually I write some articles, yeah, but because I'm also the CEO of the company, my main job is to find clients, to talk with clients, to take care of all the administration, paying salaries, this kind of stuff. It's more a manager role. Because I'm also the editor-in-chief, so I have to read, and I'm responsible for all the contents. So I have to read everything every day, in both the languages, and because the Cryptonomist is both in Italian and in English language. But my main task is to find clients, to deal with them, to provide services to them. This is the main task.
Yeah, this show is like about obviously blockchain and cryptocurrency, but I want to have like entrepreneurs on too. So you meet all the criteria to come on this show. What is the goals of the Cryptonomist like as a company? Is your goal to run it for a long time, or is it to make it a very profitable site and then sell it someday? What are you planning on doing there?
No, right now the magazine is not only a magazine, so we don't sell only a DV or a sponsored post on site, but we also a marketing agency for a blockchain startup. So this is the goal. The goal is not to earn so much from the magazine only, but also from clients in the blockchain and fintech space. Okay. Now our goal is to grow views, of course, because the more we are known, more clients we will have. So this is the thing. That's why I was talking with you about clients. It's not only advertising clients, but also people we help with their marketing strategy.
And I know you've traveled to quite a few events in Europe. What's your favorite event over there?
I really appreciated the blockchain cruise that has been held 2 years ago. There was McAfee, there was Brock Pierce, and a lot of important names.
Yeah.
Roger too, and it was very funny. But the only problem is there was no Wi-Fi connection during about days. So it was a mess for writing articles and sending materials to the office. But it was a very nice place.
Yeah, that would be weird to be out at sea for, a week, and then you have all these, like, everybody on that ship is like into technology and nobody can get any work done.
Yes, it was a very big problem.
I remember that there were a few famous debates on that cruise that went on. Did you go watch those?
Yes, there was one with Roger Ver and Tom Bass. It was very fantastic. And the swimming pool with the flip-flop and the swimming suit, and they were debating under the sun.
Yeah, very crypto anarchist style.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Who is the most interesting person that you've met in crypto so far?
I can say my favorite interview maybe was with John McAfee, because I don't know, from the outside, if you don't know him, if you never meet him, you think it's a very, I don't know, rude and distant kind of person, and the one you can't very talk with him, I don't know, it's a very strange person. But when I interviewed him, it was very nice, very kind. He helped me to be more how can I say, I was very timid in that moment, very shy. I was very worried to interview him, and he helped me to talk. It was very, very nice.
So he let his guard down, and he was a pretty friendly guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys actually have a brick and mortar location that you have run the Cryptonomist out of, or a physical office that everybody meets at, or do you guys all work remotely, like from home?
No, we are yes, remotely.
Nice.
Not in Lugano, in Switzerland, but I live in France. A lot of people work from Italy, a couple from London, so we are everywhere.
Decentralized workspace, right? Nice. So yeah, you already kind of touched on this, but I wanted to follow up on it. The Cryptonomist publishes everything in English and Italian. So somebody writes it in one of those languages, and then you have people on staff that just translate it right then and there, or how does that work?
Yes, the greatest part of journalists are Italian or they speak Italian, so they write in Italian, and we have a translator who translate everything in English, but also sometimes we receive also articles directly in English. So it's 50% that are translated and the other are in English, native English.
I need to get an article on that site, spread my Italian audience. What along the lines of today, it's so popular for people to be like, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, I'm a whatever maximalist. I'm personally not a maximalist, and I think you agree with me, but I'm not sure. Are you a maximalist of any project?
No. Please check out my bio on Twitter, and my bio says I don't give a fuck of any token.
Yeah, I feel like you. I think that the whole community will benefit from no sort of maximalism, like all of interoperability and cryptocurrency. The blockchains need to be able to communicate with each other to really provide the full amount of value to society. So
the future will let us know what's the best technology, what will be adopted, which kind of cryptocurrency can become a method of payment, which is a store of value. But at the moment, I think we are in the very first step, and it's useless to fight and to fight against each other on Twitter, for example. There are a lot of posts one against each other. I think it's very useless.
Right. I agree 100%. It's tribalism. It's like, if you want to have that sort of attitude, you should just stick with paper money,
Yeah.
It's very cultish.
There is this other group that is toxic maximalist.
Yeah.
So insult people that in the groups wants to ask a stupid question. They are stupid. I can say stupid questions only because they are newbies. So for them, it's normal. They are getting to know this industry, so it's normal you can receive stupid questions. But I think it's very good for people to reply them, to engage more people in this industry. If not, they will never know anything about Bitcoin, and we will stay, I don't know, 1,000 people
Right.
closing ourselves. So it's useless.
Yeah, it's doing more harm than good. It definitely will turn more people off than it will bring in. I think the whole thing was created it by somebody who doesn't like Bitcoin maybe, or a certain project. It's like so divisive. What projects are your favorite? Your favorites?
Right now I'm studying a lot about Bitcoin Cash, but only because I'm interested in the method of payment. I think Bitcoin was born as a method of payment. That was the interesting stuff I was interested into when I started to study Bitcoin. So I'm trying to find cryptos or, for example, Bitcoin Cash, but there are others with method of payments. I'm more interested into that store of value.
Peer-to-peer medium of exchange.
That is the real revolution. That is the real technology, not store of value as an investment. We have gold for that. That's okay. There are pros and cons, but I think it's not the real revolution. The real revolution is to have a decentralized method of payment.
What do you think about like Ethereum and projects like Ethereum that are trying to do smart contracts?
Yeah, on Cryptonomist, we try to speak about every kind of project. Of course, not scams, but we want to give space to everyone, from Bitcoin to Ethereum, from Ripple, everything. As I said before, I think the time will tell us who will win. So in this moment, it's useless to debate about.
Right. I noticed you guys have a DeFi tab on the Cryptonomist. Everyone needs to check out the website. I'll let you shout that out at the end. What do you think about DeFi? Do you think DeFi is like the future, where in maybe another 15 or 20 years there aren't even like brick and mortar, physical banks people drive to? I really hope that happens. I think that would be like the best thing in the world. Do you think that we can replace traditional banking like almost entirely?
Yeah, I think it's a very revolutionary as a field. It's like fintech, but with blockchain. And now it's gaining a lot of attention. That's why also we started to write more on Cryptonomist. I think the only problem is that when we will have a real mass adoption of this kind of tools, the problem will be security. I heard a lot about smart contracts that are not really safe in this field. Today I read a tweet post about security that is some projects are not so secure, so safe. So I think the problem would be, maybe we will have the next empty GOX problem.
I hope that doesn't happen again now. What about privacy coins? Have you looked into those much? Do you have any privacy coins you're interested in? Because that's something I think is going to really emerge in the next 5 years. Is I'm hoping that a privacy coin really busts into the top 5 projects.
Yeah, I think that is another emerging technology that is very important, because if Bitcoin will be a method of payment, for example, or other cryptocurrency, and they don't provide enough privacy, they are not very anonymous, I think they lack of their initial goal. So I'm very into greens now. I'm studying BEAM. I know a few guys who works in these companies.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are very serious projects. I hope they will emerge more, because right now it's more about Monero and Zcash.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very curious to see the future of green, for example, or beam.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 10 privacy coins that are pretty legitimate right now. So hopefully one of them really figures it out and gets into the top 10 and stays there, or top 5 and stays there. So I like to ask everyone near the end of the show here, what does Bitcoin mean to you? Like overall, what is it? What is the entire Bitcoin ethos to you? What does it mean?
As I said, for sure, it changed my life in general. That's why I dedicated to it a tattoo. It's for the life. So it's something for sure I will want to remember, and I will tell everybody. For me, Bitcoin, it's also, I'm telling about Bitcoin, but also other cryptocurrency. Bitcoin as a field, as a concept. It's about freedom, and that is the thing that I think it's the most important value for people in general.
Where do you see the Bitcoin space in another decade? We're like 11 years in now, so what do you think is going to happen in this next decade? Do you see, like, I sort of think we're going to, I mean, not to really focus completely on price or anything, but I mean, it is super important because it's a reflection on how many people have joined the network. So, you know, that is kind of like the two go hand in hand, whether people want to admit it or not. I kind of think we're going to head to like $250,000 Bitcoin, $250,000 Bitcoin, where, you know, almost half of the people have Bitcoin at some point, or it's, you know, hold a little bit of Bitcoin in other cryptocurrencies as well. Do you see that kind of future?
I think a lot of projects will disappear for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the CoinMarketCap lists about 4,000 tokens and cryptocurrencies. I think it would be at least the half. I think DeFi will be very important,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the other halvings, the price of Bitcoin might increase. So I think in general I see a brighter future for cryptocurrencies.
And hopefully we can get all of our families on board to help that along. All right. Well, do you want to plug your website real quick?
Yeah, it's cryptonomist.ch. We publish about 15 articles per day that are translated, as I said, in English too. And this is kind of a preview, but in June we will have an event in Milan, so in Italy, but with international speakers, so the main language will be English for sure.
My parents are heading over to Italy this summer, so I might have to send them over there. My dad's finally getting into Bitcoin, so I'm trying to get him to research as much as possible. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show today. This is Amelia Tomasicchio. Did I pronounce your last name right?
Yes, perfect.
Nice. All right. Hang on here. I want to say goodbye to you. Thank you.